So, right before this break group starts, I think I want to talk about this. I see through your little charades. You know, people might be pushing back against me for being too political at the moment, but at this point, because everyone's rights are at stake, including the working class, there is literally no room for error. And I say this as a massive warning, like this is a really big threat to humanity. Because what's happening right now with the immigration is people are essentially scapegoating it to this, to immigration, all the problems in the UK currently. And this simply isn't true. Especially when you look at the under 1% of people who are apparently immigrants, they're not the problem. And even the smaller portion within that sort of population is even people like committing crimes. So, yeah, this doesn't make any sense, no matter which way you put it. So, the problem is people are even in denial, even despite being faced with these facts. And what I have to say to that is, again, you're doing exactly what the people who are calling you out are saying. So people have sussed out already that the people pushing racism and white nationalism are people who are very obviously either uneducated, scared, or angry. And these things can cloud judgment, as everyone knows really, but for some reason some don't. And this is dangerous. It's such a dangerous ideology that it literally influences things like what's happened in the US, where things get so out of hand that you no longer have your hands because they've been taken away from you. And that's because of your own doing. Like, it's essentially taking a knife, cutting off your own hands. That's what you're doing here with the immigrant situation, because it's going to affect you at some point. But how is driving out immigrants going to affect you, you might ask? Because it's a domino effect. Once they've come after immigrants and stuff, they're going to come after queer rights, they're going to come after women's rights, and they're going to start coming after the working class and put you into slavery, into slave camps so you can work for the billionaires. Wonderful life, doesn't it? Because that's where you're heading. But I will say this, people might still doubt what I'm saying and what others have said. Here's a reality check for you. Put down that fucking charade. Grow up. Look at the evidence. And stop being biased. Because now is really the time to wake up. You really need to smell the coffee. They're both literally and physically. Because now's really the time to change, and things need to change before it gets worse. The only way things can get better is if billionaires are not at the forefront of all these operations that are just trying to separate us. But I do have another theory here. I say theory, I'm mainly presenting facts, but this theory that I have now is essentially the fact that billionaires are putting us against each other in some sort of game. Because, yeah, these people are completely callous. They make up a very small part of the population, just across the world in general. But what you may not know is they're just completely evil, completely insane. They're the people who will obviously groom your children. Right? That's one thing they do, for sure. They definitely exist. You know, look at Epstein and stuff. But they're also the people who will put your families at risk and take away your rights, obviously. But again, they're all doing this either as part of entertainment or just to make you slave to them. So this is why it's dangerous. And it's going to lead me to say this, conclude this. Like, again, I see through your charade. You can't act like things are fine when clearly they're not. The thing with immigration that people seem to be very passionate about is that they look at isolated incidents as if that represented everyone else. But that's not the reality. So, yeah, thanks for listening. See you on another time, possibly.